Today, let us continue with the 9 stages of training the mind. Last time, we mentioned the first stage. The first stage is called mental placement. If you look at the summary, then you know the first is mental placement. We have 6 powers. Everybody has the 6 powers. The degree, the level of the power differs from person to person. The power of listening or hearing, the power of hearing, everybody hears. Unless you don't have that faculty, then you can't hear. So the power of listening, the power of reflection in your mind, the power of mindfulness, the power of vigilance, the power of enthusiasm, and the power of thorough acquaintance. So we try to analyze mental training in conjunction with the 6 powers. The higher you elevate your powers, the more you gain from the training your mind. So if your power of vigilance, you don't gear it up, you become quite lax with it, you become quite lazy with it, and you're not enthusiastic, then you cannot can't continue the training. So in other words, training the mind, your own mind, is a matter of how much you want to apply to it, how much efforts you want to apply to it. So it all depends on you, yourself. The Buddha gives the guidance and you apply the efforts. So the first one, when we're meditating, of course, as we started last time, we said that there are 3 A's in meditation. You have to remember the 3 A's, the 3 A's of meditation, generally. And the first A is adjustment to the body. Second A is adjustment to breath. And third is adjustment to the mind. And that's a very brief summary. Adjustment to the body, everybody should know about it. Whether you're at home or you are in here, you have to know the proper posture. You have to know, if you want to cross your leg, how to do it. You can't lean against the wall with your back. Why? You should know about it. And you can't be too close to air conditioning or too close to a window where there's breeze. And it cannot be too warm or too cold. It's better to the cold side than the warm side. Say, if it's a little cool, it's always better than too warm. Because if it's too warm, you tend to go to sleep. So it's better to be a little cool. So that's why we need fresh air. Every time when we circumambulate, we want to open the doors so that fresh air comes in. Because if you close all your doors in the winter time, you have no oxygen. Not enough oxygen. When you don't have enough oxygen, you tend to doze off to sleep. So it's better to be cool. It's better to have no heat than to have too much heat. So you really have to check your environment first before training the mind. How important is training the mind? It's absolutely important. It concerns your way of living. It's your mind. It concerns your way of living. It concerns everything about enlightenment. It concerns about everything you do, you speak, and everything you think about. After you meditate for a short time, a thought arises without your attention, or actually your attention upon your object of meditation is distracted and forgotten after a while. This means the monkey has gone off, hopping from one branch to another. Then you leash it back. Take back the monkey, which means that put your breath back to the nose tip again. So continuously you should do that. Not just one time, continuously keep it that way. So meditation, don't think that meditation is passive and effortless. Some people say, oh, sitting there doing nothing. No, you're wasting your time. If you are meditating, you are sitting there and doing nothing, Just sit there and I'm relaxing. Sit there. I find I don't have time to relax. Just come to the temple and sit here and relax and just don't think about anything. You're wasting your time. Because meditation is working at your mind, working at it. You have to be intelligent, you have to be diligent, you have to be hardworking. You work at your mind all the time. You gear your mind towards concentration, towards samatha and vipassana. The earlier you control your mind, the earlier you become the master of yourself. If you don't notice it, you become the slave of your own mind. You react emotionally to the master of your mind. You become the slave. You could be the master, but you don't want to be the master. Because why? Because this master is being affected by outside objects. And you're being led further and further away from your own true mind. And you recognize this companion as a good companion, who is not your good companion. It gets you into reincarnation. So that continuous placement, which is the second stage. So it's very simple, right? It's mental placement is to inward, reflect inward object. Second is continuously, doing that continuously. For how long? If you can continuously do it without distraction, without forgetfulness, with concentration, if you can do it for half an hour, a miracle will come, wonders will come. But the mind is so wonderful that the realm of understanding that mind is almost unlimited. When the scientist opened his mind, he discovered things that not ordinary people could know. The mind is a wonder. Your mind, unless your mind is ruined, your mind, our mind is wonder. The mind leads you to enlightenment. The mind leads you to hell. The mind leads you to have a better relationship with your family. The mind leads you to success. The mind also leads you to failure, to inferno, to hell. Which one you prefer? If everybody knows the power of the mind, this world will be a much better world to live in. No more wars, no more fighting, no more crime. All purity. But it will not happen that way because of bad karma. We're always producing bad karma. All right, let's get to the third stage. It's patch placement. So let's start from then. If your mindfulness declines and you become distracted, swiftly draw your attention back and quickly become mindful that you have forgotten the object of meditation. We call it patch placement. In the first two, you're just a student of yourself. The first two, you're learning mental placement, you're learning that it should be continuous. The third one seems to be that you have promoted yourself to be your own teacher. You patch up the broken pieces now. You patch it up. What broken pieces? If your attention is drawn away by forgetfulness and distracted outward, you recognize this immediately and fix it again on the object of meditation. You must swiftly recognize distraction and patch it up with attention until your thought is abided on the object of meditation. Which means that word patching is for something, a piece of cloth is broken, like a hole in it, you patch it up. That means something is distracted, something is forgotten. You patch it up. In other words, you make up for it. No, I don't want that to go distracted, to go astray, to be forgetful. So let's patch it up. So you are the teacher of yourself. Now you are not just a student. You are also the teacher helping the student, correcting the student's mistake. You're correcting your own mistakes. And in the sutra, it is called patching. But if you want, don't just attach to the word, the meaning of the words. Don't just attach to the connotation of the word. You can always say, This placement is correcting placement. You can do it the same thing. The first is mental placement, to place it inward. The second is continuous placement. The third is correcting. Patching is correcting yourself. You don't necessarily have to so tied up with the word. You can change it. Mental placement and continuous placement, the first two, are investigating into the state of samatha. You were the student. Now you patch it up. Another example that I can give you is the cat has been looking for the rats. And he found the rats. He holds the rat with his claws, but not killing it. When some cats are like that, they don't eat rats. They catch the rat, they're playful with it, and they watch the rat in the distance. So if the rat moves, then the cat jump at it and hold it. It's just like that rat moves away. Your thought is being distracted. You forget, you're distracted away, and then the cat comes to hold it. That cat is very vigilant, So that's why you come to the fourth, the power of vigilance. You must have the power of vigilance in meditation. You see how wonderful is meditation. If a youngster learns meditation, he would increase his power in listening, he would increase his power in being vigilant, he increases his power in being mindful, and he increases his power in being enthusiastic. So the rat stays still, but the rat cannot stay still. The rat would move and go, and the cat will hold it down. Once he sees it move, then holds it down. So the cat always stays still, but fixes eyes on the rat, not allowing it to move, not allowing the rat to move. So that's continuously correcting it. So the rat moves, the cat hold it down still. The cat moves again, the rat moves again, the cat holds it down. So that's correcting placement or patch placement. So the first is mental placement, the second is continuous placement. You have to do it continuously. The third is correcting placement. The fourth is close placement. At the previous stage, the cat is away. There's a distance between the rat and the cat. So when the rat moves, it still moves. It moves. Your thought still goes away. And then the cat holds it down, then the thought comes back. But close placement means the cat is so close to the rat that one tinkling of inch of movement, the cat holds it down. It's because the cat is close. In other words, another thought comes, it just arises, and then you hold it down. In many instances, a thought comes and it continue without you noticing it. Because that cat is sleeping. That cat is not vigilant. But the cat is so close that it moves and holds it down. And the distance is not far away. The distance is close. So with the previous mental stage, you recognize distraction and eliminate it. With this mental stage, you have eliminated distraction and with effort, place your attention upon the object of meditation so closely. Close means close to the object of meditation, not far away. Here, your attention becomes much more refined and focused than the previous three stages. But still, it is not refined. It's not refined and the most focused as it may occasionally be distracted too. And now you have to remind yourself that you need to further your practice of more efforts and constantly remind yourself that you have to, you must not give up your focus. So that means the fourth is The cat is very, very close. You're improving. The first one is mental placement. The second is continuous. The third is what? Patching it up, correcting it. And the fourth is just so close to it. So there's close placement. The fifth, so as you practice more and more, if you come up to close placement, to some people it could be 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. To some people it could be a month. It could be just 15 days. For people who are not vigilant, for people who are not serious in meditation, for people who just sit and relax, it may take 10 years. But for people who really do it, it may take 10 days. And then now you come to the fifth stage, taming. You must have sufficient devotion, confidence, and faith in what you're doing to be successful. To achieve that, you have to know the benefits and merits you will obtain if you're successful in meditation. In other words, when you're meditating, you have to know, if I become successful in my enlightenment, if I become one-pointedness of mind, what merits would come? In other words, you have to gear up your confidence in it. You have to keep yourself the confidence that if I can continue to do this, if you continue to do this, you would realize the power of your own mind. Because our mind has been used to wandering in the direction of greediness, hostility, and ignorance, and mental afflictions arise incessantly in everyday life and lead us to suffering. A bad karma have created and got us into suffering, physically and mentally. But if you're successful in being the controller of your own mind, you're taming it all the time. Your mind would lead you to achieve phenomenal feat, increasing your wisdom so that you can manage your life happily. Given meditation like that, mental placement, continuous placement, closed placement, and all that, and up to taming, it has to work in conjunction with morality. So in other words, you must know what is right and what is wrong. You stay away from killing, you stay away from sexual misconduct, you stay away from stealing. You are constantly refining your morality, the mirror of morality. You're constantly changing, improving yourself. A meditator would not be successful unless he knows the precepts, unless he elevates his morality standard. That's why there's three pillars in the Buddhist teaching: morality, samadhi, and wisdom. And morality applies to all. So in other words, if you're meditating every day, I'm increasing my wisdom, I'm increasing my power of listening, of vigilance, and yet when I go out to this world, I'm cheating, I'm taking drugs, I'm drinking, I'm not responsible for my family, I'm being lazy on the job, I commit sexual misconduct, I hunt, I fish, I kill animals. If you're doing all that, meditation won't help you. Because a successful meditator must have the foundation of good morality. It works hand in hand. But if you're not observing the morality side of it, and you really concentrate, you still be a good concentrator. In other words, you still be a good meditator, but you won't be on the saintly path. So in other words, I'm a believer of positive thinking. I believe in the power of the mind. My mind can tell me to do anything I want. My mind can lead me to success in making money. My mind can make me successful in my exam. As long as I really apply to it, I work 24 hours a day, I work at that, you'll be successful. But you are selfish. You you're depressed, you have jealousy, you have hatred, you have ignorance, you have all that. But you still would be a good meditator. But you won't go to the right saintly path. You'll be a selfish individual with good concentration. So you're positive thinkers. You see the difference between positive thinking, people who just believe in positive thinking, and people who believe in the Buddhist teaching of positive thinking plus morality. If you're successful in that, plus the observance of conformity, of vinaya, of morality, then it works wonder for you. You're right on your path to enlightenment. You don't have to look for any teacher anymore. The Buddha is the teacher. Why do you have to go from one center to another center, buy all the videotapes, buy all the books, the meditation? They have already got something valuable. They still want to look outside. We have a Chinese saying, the other wife is always more beautiful. Not your own wife. You got a beautiful wife, but you still think that the other wife is better. You already got it. Why do you have to ask for more? Why do you have to spend all the time in going to the library, going to the bookstore, and going to video shops, and going to everywhere to get information? You've got a lot of information, and now you've got everything in here. Why don't you just concentrate on what you're doing?